Gail's here with day 2 of Tops and Bottoms. Remember last class we read that story about the hare who outsmarted the lazy bear and figured out a way to make some money off of growing crops on the bear's farm or garden. And we drew our pictures with where you could see the roots of the vegetables and then some of the crops that were growing above ground too. Today we're going to add color to those, so if you haven't outlined the things in your illustration or your drawing and you want to, you can do that today. And then the supplies you're going to need to do that are either oil pastels or crayons. If you want to use color pencils, you can, but it'll take longer. And then you need your watercolors for painting the sky in the background and the dirt or the soil. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I colored my vegetables with one side lighter than the other so they would look more round, like they have form. You could also color them with a highlight. I know that these root vegetables are under the ground and they don't really have a highlight because they're buried in soil, but we are making illustrations and we want them to look good. So that's why I did that. So the left side of my carrots is a lighter orange and the right side is a darker orange. I also remember I put some little creatures under there. I put little mice underground in like a burrow. And those little mice are really tiny. So if you want to color them with like a crayon or something smaller than an oil pastel, you can. I colored my beet just like I colored my carrots, with one side lighter and a little highlight. And then everything else that I have under the ground, except for the earthworms, is roots. So they were pretty easy to color. I just kind of made up colors for them. I know usually they're like white or light yellow or lime green. So I just kind of fudged that. And I colored my leaves for my plants that are below ground, the above ground leaves, kind of a light limey green for the carrots, because I know that carrots have... carrot greens are lime green. And then for my radish, they are kind of a darker green with some red on the stem and up in the leaves. So I had fun putting some red in there with those darker green leaves. When I colored in my broccoli plants, I wanted them as well to look like they had a highlight. So I colored the one side of the stalk a lighter green and the other side a darker green. And then I colored each of my little round tree sections with just that same lighter green, like it's a highlight, like the light is hitting those in a certain area. It came time to color my Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts themselves were so small that it was hard for me to use 2 different green colors on that because the oil pastels are so fat and chunky, as you guys know. So I just colored that all lime green. And then I had fun coloring my corn stalks. Again, I made part of the ear of corn darker green and the other side or part lighter green. I could also have put kind of a highlight on there. I did not do that, but you could do that if you wanted to. I painted my soil brown and I painted my sky really light blue, so watered down blue. If you don't have brown in your watercolor palette, you can make brown. You can mix the 3 primary colors, so you can mix red, yellow, and blue together to make a nice medium brown. Or you can mix blue and orange together. That will also make a nice medium brown. Oftentimes, any 3 colors that are across each other from the color wheel that you mix together will give you some shade of like khaki, greenish, brownish, some kind of earthy neutral tone. And the oil from your oil pastel should kind of push away or repel the watercolor paint a little bit. But again, if you go over and over a certain area that you've colored with oil pastels with your watercolor paint, it is going to pull up some of the color from the oil pastels and smear on your painting. So be careful of that. I know it's going to take you a long time to finish coloring and painting your garden illustrations, so I want to give you as much time as possible. I am going to put that last screen up that I had up last class so that you can see what these vegetables and the strawberry plants look like once they've all been colored in. Remember to use lots of different colors of green or shades of green in your drawing so you can tell the difference between one plant and another. See you later, boys and girls.